Hey beauties, thank you so much for tuning in. Today what we are going to do is look at palette 4. So I'm so excited. So obviously I have the 3 other palettes. And palette 4, I was so excited when I heard about this coming out because the colors are just, they're perfect for this time of year. So here are the palette 4 colors. Okay, so the cool part about palette 4, and one thing immediately that is different compared to the other palettes, is that this palette has 4 matte shades, and then I think it's 3 or 2 shimmers and 1 like sparkly. So it's got more matte shades than the other palettes, which is something that I personally am a fan of as like a hooded-eyed person. I feel like matte shades can be really flattering on any eye shape, but particularly on those of us with hooded or mature eyes. So I'm very excited to show you 3 different looks. So the colors just seem very like fall themed. They're kind of like cool toned autumn colors. So it's going to be really fun to create and to show you 3 different looks using just this palette. So I've already done my skin, so I will list below all of the products that I've used. And I'm excited because we have some new lip liners, so I'm definitely going to be using these as we finish each of these looks. So I'm going to start off with the Deluxe brush, and I'm going to put Tender, which is a shimmery gold. I'm going to just sweep that across my eyelid. It's such a nice, just like shimmery, almost skin color. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crease brush and I'm going to dip it into the first matte color that I'm going to be using, which is right here, which is Arrogant. So I just used Tender on the lid. Now I'm going to use Arrogant. So it's a little bit darker. It's almost like a mustardy brown color. And I'm going to put that in the outer portion and then into my crease. Okay, so I'm just using the crease brush to just sort of blend this up a little bit more and just kind of blend out the color so that it is more diffused and not quite as, not quite as strong. Okay, now I'm gonna move into the next color, which is Brave. So that is a very dark, that is a darker version of Arrogant. So it's like a dark, cool brown. So I'm just going to use that on the outer edge, like the outer V of my eye. So like along the lower lash line and then up into the crease. And I'm just going to kind of blend it in. Gives a little more dimension, deepens up our crease. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Arrogant and I'm going to use the crease brush again, and I'm going to do this on my lower lash line. So you can do this with your finger or with, the crease brush is pretty precise. So this is a good brush choice. You don't want something that's going to put it everywhere. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the liner brush and I'm going to dip it into Brave, which was our darkest like brownish matte color. And I'm just going to line my upper lash line with Brave. So this is a nice way to thicken up the lash line, but stay in the color palette of your, so it just kind of thickens up the lash line a little bit. And it's great because it stays with your color scheme. So I'm just lightly lining it and then putting it slightly thicker on the outer edge. Okay, now I am going to get the Deluxe brush again and just freshen up Tender. Just kind of pat it on to make sure that it's still shimmery and distinct from the other colors. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to lashes. So I will be curling my lashes with the Younique Lash Curler. This is such an important step for anyone who has eyelashes like mine that are kind of like sticking straight out and not very long. This is a really great way to enhance the look of your lashes. This is like, it's neutral and it's cool and it looks very autumny. Yes, I'm making that an adjective. I don't know why. And we have, so I have 4 of the 5 new lip pencils. So I will do a swatch soon. I just ordered the other one. I think I want to try Punchy, which is the pink one. Oh, this is a cute color. I like this. Okay, so here is the final look, number 1, with the Punchy lip liner, which is one of the new ones. And then I have palette 4 on my eyes. Okay, let's begin look number 2. So we're going to start out look number 2 using Cheerful, which is the matte blue, kind of a little bit of green color. And I'm going to use the Deluxe brush, and I'm going to apply this onto the lid of my eye. So first just sort of packing it on where I want it and then blending out the edges. Okay, so now we are going to take Honest with our finger. So Honest is the light shimmery blue. I'm going to put that in the inner corner. So a little bit on top of Cheerful and a little bit on its own in that inner corner. So that just gives us a little bit of shimmer but keeps the blue. Now we're going to go in with the crease brush, and I'm going to use that sort of mustardy shade. I'm going to put that along the crease on the outer edge and just sort of blend it into the outer half. Feel like it's a little too, you can get a fluffier brush and kind of blend it out a little bit more if it seems like it's getting a little bit too pigmented or the edges are a little too sharp. Just keep blending it and make sure you have it where you want it, and if it's not where you want it, then there are always makeup removing wipes, which are a savior. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the lower lash line bare. And I'm going to take the liner brush and dip it into Triumphant, which is the dark matte blue color right here, and line the upper lash line. I like this. It's smoky, but I think it's cool to only do like the upper lash line, so it keeps it a little more daytime appropriate. I mean, you can wear whatever you want, whenever you want, but keeps it from looking a little too nighttime by only having it on the upper lash line. And this looks really good, like against the brown eyes. I think I'm gonna go in with Prudent. That is cute. It's like a natural, like your lips, but a little bit better type color. So this is look number 2. Okay, so now it is time for palette 4, look number 3. So what we are going to do is we are going to use this is actually the one color we have not yet used, and it is called Secretive, and it is like the shimmery bronze in the center there. So I'm going to use my finger and pack that onto my lid. Oh, that is really pretty. Okay, and then I'm also going to do Secretive on the inner portion of my lower lash line. Again, I'm using my finger, but you can use any sort of precise like crease brush or pencil brush. Or your finger if you're like me and you live on the edge. Obviously, the tone Living on the Edge is being used very loosely. Okay, so we have our gold. Okay, so now let's go in with Cheerful, which is the blue. So I'm going to do, first I'm going to do Cheerful on the outer edge of my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to take our crease brush and dip it into Cheerful and use this as the color in our crease. So we're kind of like sandwiching the gold. This is definitely going to be the bold, sort of unusual pairing look of this of this set, because it's really cool looking, but it's definitely like an odd pairing. I think it looks really cool, but this is like an unusual pair, I feel like. But it's so pretty. Okay, so I think we kind of have to go in with some liquid liner now. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the liquid eyeliner in the color Precarious, which is a dark blue, and I'm going to create a bit of a wing. I'm even taking some of the liquid liner down onto the outer edge of the lash line, and just sort of blending it with the color Cheerful. Okay, so for lip liner for the final look, I'm going to use the color Plush. Aw, very cool. So here is look number 3 from palette number 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make requests, ask me any questions that you have, and that is it. Thank you so much. Bye.